pause the video to answer the question. This is the conversation review, second conversation review of lesson 5. What time does your first class at school start? Answer. Well, in my case, it depends. On Mondays, I think my first class starts just at midday. On Tuesdays, my first class starts at 8 o'clock. On Wednesdays, my first class starts at 7:30. On Thursday, my first class starts at 9 o'clock. And on Friday, my first class starts at 10 o'clock. And on Saturday, my first class starts at 8:15, a quarter after 8. If you don't go to school, so you can answer this question saying what time your job, your work, starts. Once you have answered, the next question is, what time do you have to leave home to make sure that you get to school in time for your first class? Answer. Well, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I don't have to make sure I leave my house because I work from home. I work from my office here. But on Tuesdays, I have to make sure I leave home at 6:30 in order to get to school in time for my first class. So I have to leave home about 1 hour and a half before my class to make sure I don't get late. Next question. When you go to a party, do you generally show up at the exact time the party starts, or do you prefer to show up late? Explain. Answer. My answer is I don't go to parties, right? And if I have to go to parties because I don't like parties, so I will try to show up as late as I can, preferably to show up at the end of the party. Next question. What was the last film you watched? It's a difficult question for me. Well, answer. I can say it was yesterday, but I watched a part of a film. It was a film about the persecution of Christians in Japan, But I watched like 15-20 minutes of the film. What did you think of the film? Well, yeah, first of all, answer. Well, the film for me seemed really, really nice, even though I couldn't watch it. Next question. Do you have a friend that likes to film things? Answer. Yes, I do. Question. What do you think of his videos? Well, I think they're just fine because he works with publicity. So he films, for example, apartment buildings and condos from above using a drone. So yeah, they're nice footage. Next question. Do you generally order a large pizza just for yourself? No, if I have to eat by myself, then I prefer a hamburger, hot dog or something like that. Next question. When was the last time you were upset with yourself? Answer. Oh, this is well, the last time I was upset with myself was, oh, there's so many times, right? But I don't know. Once I For example, yesterday we were going to bed, and then I was eating something, and my son came and I gave him a little bit, and then he ate all of it and he wanted more. And then I realized he hadn't eaten, and we were going to bed without, eating. And I was upset with myself. Uh, Next question. Tell me about a friend that you think should get himself together and explain why. Answer. Well, I don't have many friends. Uh, well, I think many of my students should get themselves together. Uh, because they think they will learn English just by paying English or by buying an English book. They don't practice at home. They don't try to record their voices. They don't try to repeat. They don't try to take English, in their hands and say, this is my responsibility. They expect me to teach them and to guide everything. And then if they don't get themselves together, and if they don't make an effort, if they don't focus, and start making English, they will never speak English fluently. So, yeah, they should get themselves together. Question. Tell me something you expect to happen next week. Answer. Something I expect to happen next week. Well, I expect I will have time to read my books instead of just working. I don't know if that will happen. Yeah, I shouldn't expect something that won't happen, right? So I expect I'll have some time to record some videos for the English course. Question. Do you talk about people behind their backs? Answer. Yeah, sometimes I do. I like gossip something. Sometimes it's very fun. Next question. Do you think brothers and sisters usually compete with each other? Answer. Well, I don't think that is so often, right? It's not that brothers and sisters love so much each other that they don't compete. But I don't know. I think sometimes, yes, they do love each other, so they won't compete. But sometimes they just don't care. I don't know. I've never competed with my brothers because we've always been in different areas. And even when we were in the same areas, I really admire them. So I don't think that's so common.